welcome back to my online conversation series where I interview great inspirational people and we just talk about mental health, self-care, and provide you all with some top tips on how you can take care of your mental health. Now, it's been a long time since I've started my interviews. I do feel quite nervous, but I'm excited. Today I'm going to be interviewing Tommy, who is a music producer and DJ, and many of you will know him from High Life, which was a Channel 4 documentary series featuring Black West Africans, and they were just showing us their lives and letting us into their world. So I'm super excited to be interviewing Tommy today. We're going to have such great conversations in light of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So let me know how you guys are feeling. It feels so good to be back. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for today's interview. We will wait for Tommy to join. But in the meantime, let me know, how are you guys? How has your Sunday been? Are you excited? And thank you for joining. Just to give an introduction about my interviews, because many people who are new to my page may not know why I do these interviews. So I am the founder of Culture Minds Therapy Platform, which is an online directory platform where people from all different cultures, all different races can find a private therapist to take care of their mental health, providing one-to-one private therapy. So with these interviews, what I do is I interview public figures, inspirational people, and then 9 times out of 10 I do get people wanting to start therapy, looking to find a therapist on the directory. So that's the end goal and the big aim for what we do when I'm doing these interviews, is to help inspire and encourage people to seek therapy and know that they're not alone and that they shouldn't suffer in silence. Okay, let me add Tommy now. Let's see. Tommy, let me know how you're getting on with that. Oh, here we go. Hey.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
You're welcome. I always like helping people out and spreading good positive energy and speaking about.
Perfect. So thank you. How's your Sunday going? Before we start the interview, how are you? How's your Sunday been?
My Sunday's been pretty chill, I've just been doing nothing. I came back from Dubai a few days ago, so I'm still like catching up to the time. I've just been a bit tired as well. But yeah, now I've been good. How have you been?
I've been good, relaxing. I feel, do you know what? I feel nervous because this is my first interview in like 6 months. I'm excited, but I'm like, oh, nervous. But yeah, Sunday's been good. Just relaxing, chilled. Nothing too stressful. How was your? I know your wife took you to Dubai for your birthday. So how was your birthday? How was Dubai? What was it like?
Nah, Dubai was great. I really enjoyed it. It was it's always a nice experience going there because the people that the like customer service is so nice. People are very well mannered. Obviously it's warm, good vibes. But I think my main thing is just food. I love food, so
Oh, wow.
there's hella food. So I was just eating it up. Yeah, my wife took me there for my birthday. So that was a nice surprise. She told me like the week before.
Oh, nice.
Like she knows I love Dubai. We literally just came from Dubai, and I was saying,
oh, wow.
Back next month, and she was like,
and she brought you back?
Yeah, she flew.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to your amazing wife. For those who don't know, Tommy is married to the beautiful, amazing Camille, who is a singer-songwriter. So big shout out to her. She is amazing. I love her. I love what she does. And do you know what? I love you guys as a couple. I have been watching your vlogs. I was really excited to see your vlogs because I feel like off of the back of High Life,
yeah,
I kind of wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of you guys. And I was really upset at the fact that High Life was only a certain amount of episodes, and it was just like, no, we want more. And that's how I felt anyway. I don't know how other people felt, but I really wanted to see more of the cast. Even your family are such a beautiful family, so funny,
Yeah.
And actually good to watch on camera.
Thank you very much. Yeah, nah, it was only 4 episodes. I think they pitched it as like a limited run thing, but
Okay.
we'll see if they do more. It was nice to, like for people to see like how we are and what we do. And, I got such positive feedback from it, and it's kind of like positive reinforcement that like, because everyone doubts like, oh, am I this or am I that, or
Mm.
how people think I am. I've been getting quite good feedback, so it's been good to have that experience and, gain more confidence in myself and, be comfortable just being me instead of thinking, oh, people might not like me or whatnot.
Yeah. No, I think all of you guys came across very authentic, very natural. It never seemed I never got the vibe that you were playing up to the cameras. It just felt very natural and congratulations on the wedding. Congratulations on the wedding as well. Your wedding was beautiful. That was lovely to see, two black couples getting married and just to see the different cultures and your family come together. So I think it was very powerful.
Yeah.
It was something that we needed, and I do hope that in the future they continue with High Life, whatever
Mm.
they have planned with
Yeah.
High Life. Fingers crossed. But yeah, no, it was nice to watch. I really did enjoy watching it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed watching it as well. Same as you. My only thing was I wish there was a few more episodes at least. I think it needed like twice the amount of episodes, to be fair.
Yeah, it did. How did you feel watching it back, looking at yourself?
I felt great, I thought
Okay,
you were portrayed really well. I mean, we filmed a lot more scenes that were cut, uh,
okay,
and we did a few more things. And I think my only gripe was I wanted to see more of my sister, like Tony. I wanted to see her,
okay.
but her parts are very like chopped up. But
Hmm.
all in all, it was a great experience, and yeah, it was a very positive one as well.
Oh, that's lovely. But we did see Tony share her book, which is amazing, and
Yes,
that must have been good for her to kind of share her book before the launch of the book. And
yeah,
I know the book's doing amazing. So shout out to your sister as well. She's also doing great things. So just shout out to your whole family. Your family are amazing. Yeah. So obviously, I reached out to your management, reached out to yourself for an interview off of the back of High Life. When you spoke about your struggles, I was like, yep, we'll get an interview. We have to get an interview. And many people were messaging me saying, "Oh, did you hear Tommy was talking about mental health? Jump on it, jump on it." And this is one thing that I love, especially when Black people are speaking about, their mental health or just opening up about if they've struggled and just speaking about that topic because it needs to be spoken about a lot more, particularly within our culture. And for yourself on such a massive platform such as High Life on TV, many people were watching it. I know all of my family is watching it, all of my friends were watching it, and when you kind of spoke about mental health, how did that? First of all, was it planned? So did you plan to speak about it, or did it just come natural,
I think.
like with the flow?
Yeah, I think it was a natural thing where when we were going through filming, we had our little like the VTs that you see. We call them master interviews, but you see like where it intersects from one scene, and then you see us talking to the camera. So I
Okay.
think I was speaking to the camera one day, and then I started talking about some of the things I've been through, and then they just asked me to elaborate a bit more. So I talked a bit more. Um, Naturally, I guess the scenes just came about like off the back of that.
Mm.
But I never planned to go in speaking about it. But I knew that it's something in my life that I'm not ashamed to speak about, and it's something in my life that I actually prefer to talk about to people, so people can, learn something, or at least if anyone's going through similar things, they can have like some solitude in the fact that you can come out the other side. So yeah.
Definitely. And there was a lot of, although it may have felt quite vulnerable, there was a lot of strength with you actually speaking about that and kind of vocalizing that. Did you feel after you kind of mentioned about mental health or spoke about it, how did you feel the reaction to people? Did you get good reaction? How
Yeah,
did you feel?
I got a really good reaction. I think everyone was kind of like thanking me for championing mental health in the series, and a lot of people was talking about the point that a lot of black men don't talk about. their struggles, their mental health, whatnot. And I think mostly people were just grateful. No one, there was obviously no negative what I saw. I think everyone goes through their own struggles, so it's nice to see someone speaking about it in a relatable way, or just touching on something that society once had as like this like taboo subject, but now is a lot more open, and it's more accepted that people do have their struggles and people do need to go to therapy and people do need to open up more. So yeah, it was a good experience, and I got good feedback off the back of it. So I was.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely echo that, and thank you for also speaking about that. But one thing also, as you were speaking, was the fact that high life is essentially about Black people who are living the high life, wealthy people. So it's nice to even show that side to you. So people know that, like you said, anyone can struggle with their mental health. You don't have to look a certain way or be living a certain lifestyle. Anyone, it can happen to anyone. And it's so important that we understand that, and that we can help people kind of take care of their mental health in better ways, and kind of know essentially the signs when they may be struggling, and not feel ashamed and afraid to actually voice their opinions, whether you're a man, whether you're a female, just feeling confident and comfortable in doing that. So in relation to your mental health then, what have you, without going into too much detail, what did you struggle with?
I think it was a combination of a few things. I think mainly it was, like severe depression and anxiety, which are words that I feel like get thrown around a lot, but a lot of people do actually go through those things. I think that was the majority of it. Self-doubt and just a lack of self-appreciation, I guess. I think those are my main things. And then it just became like a downhill spiral for me, where everything started to multiply and get worse and worse and worse. And then there was really dark stages for me. And I've struggled with, like talking about suicide, and I've struggled with, seeing what the next steps are for me, and proceeding into the future. I've had really, really bad times, but I'm grateful that I was able to get out of it. But I think those are my main struggles, like mental health struggles. And these are things that, they don't just go away at the click of a finger. Like even when you do overcome it, you can get these moments, like almost like a sort of like a relapse, where you get, you feel all the same emotions, but it's just about taking the tools you've learned from talking about it and applying it to your life, and using those tools to, get yourself out of those moments and go the next day, and just keep going on, and next time it arrives you're just better equipped every single time. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you for sharing with us about that. It, like, from the sounds of things, it sounds like you were in a very dark place, and there were a lot of things going on. And depression and anxiety is very common in both male and females, but I find that men can sometimes feel very reluctant to speak about their mental health, and maybe almost afraid and ashamed of what they're experiencing and what they're going through. So with what you was going through, I know you reached out. I know you mentioned about your wife being supportive and your sister also being supportive.
Yeah.
Do you know what triggered your kind of anxiety and low mood? So was it family? Was it career life? Was it just your business? How do you know?
Yeah, I think
Get to it.
the thing that really triggered my anxiety and my depression, I think I had a really bad relationship that ended badly. Part of it, and then around that time, my working, I had a manager that was like stealing money from me, and I found out quite late. And all those things came together like at the same time. So I was feeling super low because of those things. Then just little things would happen, and then it would just add to it. And then yeah, yeah, I'll say that's probably what triggered it. But I think my first like feeling of being anxious was probably, you know, uh, back in school, like
Oh
that's
yeah,
is,
common.
you know, that exam period that
Mm.
where you're about to leave school or go into sixth form, where it's like you're 16-year-old or however old you are, and you're getting told every day that, oh, what you do now is going to affect the rest of your life, and you don't even feel like you've lived half of your life, haven't, and you're not even mature enough to understand the responsibility that's being given to you at those times.
Mm.
That was a very anxious time for me, and obviously coming from a Nigerian home where my older sister, she's super intelligent, so I felt like I was always trying to, make sure that if my
Mm.
older sister Tony, if she got an A, I have to at least get an A. I have to make sure that I'm not disappoint anyone. So I think I put that anxiety on myself, and that was my first true experience of like, yeah, serious anxiety, like going through
Oh.
school and going through the education system. And when you're going through that, there's no support system for the students.
Mm.
It's all about you guys need to get your whatever your minimum is for your university, or else you're a failure and that's it, and your whole world's gonna be a bum. But it's not the case. But I think yeah, we as kids we were fed this almost like this lie that
Mm.
whatever happens now is going to decide our life forever, and it's not true, because to this day I can wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I want to be a pilot, and go to pilot. But you're never too old or anything, are you? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very true about school and the narrative that they kind of portray in school, like, you have to do this or you have to be this person, you have to get these grades. Because even with me, I was not very academic.
Mm.
I did go to uni and study at uni, but I failed. My first uni, I failed. I
Mm.
got like all thirds. I had to leave that uni and start again. So this narrative can be very damaging for people, if you're pushing that on them and making them believe that, if you fail in school, like literally your life is over. And we're so young and we're so vulnerable at school. So it's like, we're going to literally take that on and like really think that, oh my God, if I fail, then, the rest of my life is literally over. What am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you actually made that. You spoke about that and spoke about how schools can kind of push that into you.
Yeah.
In relation to your siblings, are you the youngest out of your sisters, or
I'm the middle child, so
are you the middle child?
Tara's my youngest.
Okay.
Tony's my oldest. Yeah.
Okay, so you're the middle child. Okay. So when you were struggling, at the time when you were struggling, did you reach out to Tony or your wife, or did you kind of what did you do during those times?
So the first time where it got really bad, I didn't yet know my now wife. So I think
Okay.
Tony noticed a shift in my behavior. She noticed that I was kind of very withdrawn, and
Okay.
she, I think, made a proactive effort to understand what I was going through. Then one day, she came into my room. This was because I had moved back to Oxford because I was in London. That's when everything started to go really bad. So I just needed to like move back to with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony kind of sat me down and spoke to me like, and then I just like
Oh, that's lovely.
older, I just like broke down and I said everything. I was just so like candid about everything I was going through, and I just told her. I tried not to hide anything. I just said, "Look,
Mm.
feeling like this, I'm thinking this, I want to do this. I've been going through this and that," and she just did what any big sister should, and not only provided me with comfort and reassurance, but she provided me with a realistic view of the future.
Mm.
Not only provide me with the view of the future and the destination, but she showed me the route how to get there. So I was very grateful of her to that, because you see self-help things online, and self-help is good, but it's hard to sometimes picture the route you need to take to get to where you want to be. But someone else looking from the outside in, especially someone that's close to you, someone that you trust, can provide you with an alternative route. Like when you're on sat nav and you're like, oh, that journey looks mad. But then, like,
Yeah.
oh, the other journeys you can take, and this one's easier. And so, yeah, Tony, like, she saw where I wanted to go. She saw the route that I was taking. She was like, nah, do this instead. And I just,
Oh.
it really, really helped because it allowed me to overcome my like my mental struggles, and it just, I think, most of all, it showed me where I could be. And she was like, look, you're going to look back on this one day and you're going to be so grateful. And you're going to be like, can't believe I was in that place. And you're going to have this, and you're going to do that, and you're going to be this, and you're going to be in a great place. And at the time, I was like, I'm not sure if I can picture this, but she just kept reinforcing it. And like a few weeks ago, Tony was talking to me, and she was like, bro, like everything I said, is this the life isn't this not the life you're living now? And I said, you know what?
Wow.
Everything you said is like, that's exactly what's happening now. So I'm glad that she was there to support me, and she was also checking up on me all the time, because when someone tells you, oh, they're having suicidal thoughts, or they're having this thought, or they're thinking of this, someone checking up on you, it just reminds you that, look, like, people actually care about you. You can't be thinking that no one cares. And Tony would practically check up on me. She would just call me like randomly, like, oh, bro, I know you're at home. Do you want to come meet me on my work lunch break, and then we can go for lunch? And those little moments are the moments that I'll always cherish, especially within that journey, because those are like, in a dark room, there's like little beacons of light that were there, and I can always go back to those beacons of light. And sometimes I find myself thinking, man, I was in this dark place, that I just remember like, oh yeah, but Tony would do this, and my friends would do that, or this, like, so yeah, like the support system that Tony provided, I think Thai Life didn't show, but Tara also provided a good support system. So I'm grateful for that. And when I got out of that, and then I was about to get, like, I had overcome that, and then things were going well, then things kind of went downhill for me again in terms of working relationships and other bits and bobs. But I had just met my now wife. She just stopped me from getting to that place immediately. Like, she could sense that, oh, Tommy's going through all of this thing, and this could cause this. Because when I met her, I was very candid. I told her everything I've been through.
Yeah.
I spoke to her about my struggles and my mental health and everything. So she just saw the signs, and straight away she didn't let me go into that place. She was like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, you're going to be fine, this is it, this is that, this is that.
Oh, that is...
Yeah, she just bossed it. And I'm grateful, because it's like, what Tony was able to do for me, I'm married to someone that's able to do it for me. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just a good, supportive people around me.
Oh, that is absolutely lovely. Like, I love hearing that your sisters were so supportive, and you know, the little signs they saw in you, and they were able to kind of provide an intervention and be there for you, because you know, that's what we need. We need that strong family unit. And it's, you know, well done for you for feeling comfortable and confident to even share with your sister how you were feeling, because that takes a lot of strength from you as well to kind of share with your sister how you were feeling and what you were going through. And then to, you know, for me, the picture in my head is that, you know, you've got your sisters are there to take care of their brother. Oh, make sure Tommy's okay. And then now it's just transitioned into your wife, and your wife is there to kind of like, you know, we're going to put a stop to it or kind of help you in different ways. So that's very, very powerful. And I love, you know, the shift and the transition. I also love the relationship with your wife and your sisters, because I see it on your Instagram, on their Instagram. You guys are very, very close, and you guys have a lot of fun. So it's really, really nice to see. And it's also nice to hear the other side of your relationship with your family members, and knowing that they are there for you as much as you have the fun in times of need. They are actually there. As a Nigerian, in the Black and Asian culture, Caribbean culture, African culture, mental health can be very frowned upon, or people may not understand about mental health, or kind of feel a bit confused. You know, what is this? What is depression? What is anxiety? You know, be strong. Did you tell your parents you were struggling?
Did I tell my parents I was struggling? I kind of divulged a little bit to them, but not
Okay.
the extent that I spoke to Tony. And it wasn't because, you know, my parents will stigmatize what I'm going through, or would say this or say that. It was nothing like that. It's just that I honestly did not want to scare them, and I didn't feel down or they have failed, because there was honestly nothing that they could have done to prevent me from having those emotions and feeling like that. So I'm lucky where my family is quite contemporary in their thinking. They're quite,
Okay.
family's really good at, understanding other people's perspectives. I guess we're just very empathetic towards everyone. And I'm grateful that I'm in that position to have a family. I know not a lot of people don't, and even people have said to me like, I tried to speak to my family about this, and then they kind of shunned me. I was being silly, which is really sad to hear. And I think the more, we do things like, for example, this Instagram Live or speaking about it on television or on our social media, like the less of this stigma that will be around mental health. So I think that's one of my like unofficial duties in life is to, try and open up a conversation and make people aware that, the narrative of mental health in the Black community being frowned upon is it does, how it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. And your family do seem very open as well, especially on High Life. Your mum was open with your sister, your dad was open with you. We kind of saw the relationship, and that's why I wanted to see more of your family, because you guys were just so open. You guys were funny, so it was just nice to see a Black family on TV, just being authentic and being natural in their surroundings on camera on Channel 4. So that was really, really nice to see. In relation to your mental health, what would you say, or how would you maybe encourage someone who may be struggling in light of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Because I know it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So this could be for a man or a female. So how would you encourage someone if they were struggling right now and they didn't really know who to turn to or kind of what to do? What would you say to maybe encourage them?
Difficult because everyone's story is different, and you know, people learn and listen to things differently. But I think a common thread that I've found amongst speaking to people that have had similar struggles is, just communication. Just take that one step of telling one person, even if it has to be a stranger. Just if you feel comfortable, if you trust them, just speak to them. That is, I guess, the beginning of everything. It's just speaking out loud. I don't mean like, guilt trip people into trying to talk to you. Like, I don't mean like dive into celebrities' DMs and start speaking about it. I mean, yeah, someone that you can trust and someone that will be comfortable speaking to you. It's good to speak to them. Luckily, I had my sister. Not everyone has siblings or family members that are there for them, but there's always friends, there's always colleagues, and there's always someone that cares about you. So I think the first step is just to communicate, and then a lot of self-help reading online. Tony helped, and I went online and myself during the time, and I found a lot of like hotlines for when you're feeling low.
Yeah.
I wrote them all down, and it was just comforting to know that that was there for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think I called once, but I just hung up. But that also a safety net. And it sounds so silly that just having this number is going to protect you from this or that, but it does help. And I think doing that kind of research, having those numbers is really helpful. And, just creating positive relationships with people. I think negative relationships won't help. Or if not just with people, negative relationships or anything, if you're expressing your issues with advice, or if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing in order to overcome your emotions, as unhealthy and it's not sustainable for a long time. So I think creating positive relationships and positive associations really helps. So yeah, communication definitely is my main piece of advice.
That's lovely. And in relation to the numbers, those are numbers that actually, as a therapist, we would give out to clients, letting them know that, these are some numbers that you can call, if at any point, any time, call those numbers.
Yeah.
So that's actually nice to hear you say that although you didn't speak to them, you had those numbers there. You kind of felt a bit safe knowing that the numbers were there should you ever need to give them a call. So also thank you for sharing that. Um, what was I was gonna ask you one? No, I was gonna ask you one thing about your wife, but before that, I wanted to ask you. Yeah, did you seek therapy for your mental health, or did you kind of find self-help tools that helped you?
Um, yeah, I seek therapy for my mental health. I guess my therapy was luckily I have a sister who's very intelligent and very educated, and she's very again empathetic, and she gives great advice. So she was kind of like my therapist during the time. I mean, I did seek therapy at the
Mm,
time. Never, I wasn't courageous enough in that moment. Like obviously, like now,
okay.
or now that I'm more wise, or now that I've overcome that, I can. I've started doing therapy, and I do therapy, but not because I have issues, just to make sure that I don't have issues. Do you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow, that's really good.
But yeah, I did seek it, but it's a very daunting thing. But I think services like the one you provide, and when I'm speaking to my sister or speaking to my wife, there's you can find therapists that you can relate to, because as a black man, a lot of the therapists were white women, and I can't really relate to a white woman. Necessarily all the struggles. Like if I tell her, oh yeah, but in the black community, um,
Yeah.
um, yeah, health are frowned upon. She would just look at me like, what? Like, but yeah, I did seek therapy. I never went through with it at the end, but that was just because I was blessed enough to have an amazing family around me that were kind of like my therapist, kind of help.
Mhm.
And then I met my amazing wife who also helped. But then my wife and I, we started couples therapy together to ensure that we never have issues, or if any of us are having issues as individuals, it can get spotted early. And it's really helped us with our communication. It's helped us with our understanding of ourselves and each other. And it's just, I think, in general, made us better persons, better people. So I'd always advise people to go to therapy. If you're not brave enough to do it by yourself, do it with your family or do it as a couple.
Mm,
It's a great experience, and it's a great thing to, just do as often as, it's affordable, or as often
mm.
as you need it. So I think yeah, therapy is a really good thing, and I'm glad that I eventually got into the therapy world.
Oh, lovely. Yay. Well, Culture Minds Therapy, my platform that I have, we do have diverse therapists. So if anyone's watching and they want to seek a therapist, Black and Asian, then we're there for you. A little bit of a promo there. But yeah, no. One thing that I love about what you just mentioned was that although you wasn't, at that time, because when it comes to therapy, many people think that, oh my God, I need to get into therapy, I need to do it now.
Yeah,
But you need to be mentally ready for therapy, because if you're not mentally ready for therapy, the therapist can't help you, because essentially you are the expert in your mental health, your well-being, and we're the expert in the interventions and essentially the theory as to how we can help you and plan that right treatment. So I love how you said that at the time you wasn't necessarily mentally ready, but now with your wife you're ready and you guys are both going together and you guys are learning and you're growing as a couple. And one thing I wanted to say, how did you feel when sharing with your wife about your mental health struggles? Did you feel quite anxious, or did you feel just comfortable with, being open and letting her know? Because I find that sometimes men can feel quite afraid with, they're getting into this new relationship, they want to put their best foot forward, they want to be confident and, just portray a certain demeanor.
yeah,
But
yeah.
with yourself, you kind of spoke to your wife about how you were feeling and what you were struggling with. How was that?
Um, I mean, when I went into this relationship, my now wife, I had got to a point where I understood what is key to make a relationship succeed. And first and foremost, again, it's communication. Like
Mm-hmm.
a relationship is, more than two people, more than one person. And that means you have to be clear and you have to be open if you want it to move forward in a healthy way. So
Mm-hmm.
early on in the relationship, I was trying my best to reinforce this attitude of positive communication and speaking about everything. Even if it's a negative thing, just speak about it. And I think I understood that if I am open about this part of me, not only will she understand me more, she'll also maybe be open enough to tell me what struggles she may have been through, because struggles they don't come again. You almost have these like kind of relapse moments. Like someone has suffered from anxiety is going to probably suffer from anxiety again. And if I was open with her about it, and if she's open with me about it, we can help each other because we understand the kind of struggles we've been through before. So I think that was my mentality going into that conversation. I still remember the conversation quite clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I was comfortable enough because she made me feel comfortable enough. Like, obviously, if she didn't, I wouldn't have ever done. I wouldn't just divulge that kind of information to anyone. But she made me feel comfortable enough and trusted her enough to have. I think it was an important stepping stone to where we are in the relationship.
Oh, that's amazing. Shout out again to your wife. That's lovely. She seems like a very strong person and has a strong character,
Yes.
to kind of, help herself, help yourself, and help you guys as a couple. Would you well, this might be a difficult question, but would you encourage men to, if they were struggling, would you encourage men to share this with their spouse, or would like what are your views on that? Because I think that's an amazing thing that you actually did, and I actually don't hear men do that. I feel like men want to hide that, and they don't want to kind of share that. So for yourself, I know it's a matter of opinion. Some men might say yeah, it's good. Some men might say no, keep it to yourself. But
Mm.
how do you feel upon reflection? How do you feel?
I think, yeah, definitely share it. I think if someone's your partner, then you trust them, and there's nothing negative that can come from it.
Mm-mm.
If I tell you I've been through this, like it's, I think it's not going to do any harm. I mean,
Mm.
some partners or some people that will kind of like try and use it against you, but the way I see it is like, bro, if I tell you I've had suicidal thoughts, you can't use that against me in any way, shape, or form because it's something you know what I'm saying? So I think that just share it. And I think people appreciate it more when you are vulnerable with them because it shows them, again, that you trust them.
Mm.
I would say that men, especially, should be more open to share it with their partners. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't see negatives in doing so. I just see it as a way to not only strengthen the relationship, but strengthen yourself as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
no,
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. I would definitely say that, if you are struggling, don't be afraid or feel afraid, because, this is your life partner who you want to spend the rest of your life with. So they're not going to judge you from that. And if they are, then that's kind of like red flags, like, hello.
exactly.
That's the first
Yeah,
red flag right there.
like,
That's the first red flag right there. So yeah, that's lovely that you kind of shared that with your wife. I think that's very powerful and I hope that men, if you're watching and you feel inspired by what Tommy has said, please do kind of take note and kind of utilize what he said. Before we come to the end of today's interview, how are you taking care of your mental health now? What are the things that you're doing to kind of take care of yourself?
I think, again, therapy has been amazing. It's really helped. Community.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my number one fan that I'm married to, so I just share everything with her.
Mm-hmm.
Proactively doing things that make me happy, and avoiding all those little warning signs that I may be going down a negative mode of thinking or a negative path, and being more aware of them straight away. I think those are the things that are really helping me, and having a hobby that you love. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always had several hobbies, but when I was going through my struggles before, I like put them on the back burner and I didn't think about them. But now I'm just like,
Oh
I'm
wow.
attached to my hobby. So yeah, I think
Oh, that's great.
my tidbits, I guess.
Those are good tips. What's your hobby? What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, I love cars. I was probably saying
Okay.
I've got amazing cars, and I drive them. I do stuff to them. I like cleaning my car. So, yeah, I was like, those are some of my hobbies. I also like I
Yeah.
game. I tried to start getting back into it a bit more. So I've been gaming, watching films, and I love food. So my wife and I always go out and eat great good food together. We eat so much good food that like we just end up being like, oh, let's just eat junk food because we just eat good food all the time. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh wow.
I'll say those are my main hobbies, and I like cooking, but I just never have time, so I put that on
On
ice.
hold. Oh, that's really good. That's a really good hobbies, and it shows that you're really motivated and you know kind of know what to do to kind of help you if you ever get any early warning signs.
Yeah.
My last question, in relation to therapy, how are you finding therapy? Was it scary? Were you excited? How did you find it actually started, and how are you finding it now, without going into too much detail?
Yeah, so at first I was like, oh God, I like, am I gonna get told something about me that I'm gonna be like, oh, maybe I am this, or everything that's gone wrong in my life is because I'm this or that. But that's what I thought was gonna happen, but it was nothing.
Mhm.
There's a lot of self-reflection, and it's kind of like someone that's there to hold your hand whilst you fix yourself, and it's a really
Mhm.
nice experience. And now that I've done it a bit, it's like just part of my normal, like just normal, isn't it? Like
Mhm.
when people are feeling ill, they go to the doctor. Um, when people don't want to get ill, they eat healthy, work out, and I feel like therapy is kind of like doing that for your mind. So
Mhm.
yeah, now I'm just like, it's such a normal thing to me. I'm just comfortable to talk about it. I'm comfortable to do it, and it's something that I think I'll do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, that's lovely. And I feel like in this country, I feel like we're slowly getting there when it comes to therapy. We're slowly in America, like therapy is like a normal direct debit for Americans. So hopefully in the UK, especially within the Black and Asian culture, within our culture, we will feel much more comfortable and confident, to seek therapy and not feel afraid. And it's also conversations like this as well, because you are very inspirational, you are very encouraging, and you're going to help someone. Because whenever I do an interview, I get about 3 people reach out to me, either reach out to me or reach out to the business and say, I watched this interview, please help me with finding a therapist, I've been struggling. So these conversations are very, very powerful. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you about such a important topic to myself and yourself. And yeah, what can we expect from you in the future? I know you're a DJ, you're a producer. What have you got in the pipelines?
um, just more music, I guess. I like.
Mhm.
Funny when people ask me that question, I'm like, music. Like, I don't know. Same thing. Music.
What else is there?
I
Music?
don't know. Music, I'm trying to again do a lot more things to highlight mental health. So hopefully, I'll be participating in a lot more, things like that. Maybe some more high life. I don't know. You have to wait and see, I guess.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's about it. I've got some artists that I manage, Keys the Prince there, so they release great music. So I'm working on their projects a lot, and yeah, it's I mean, like life's good, man. We all have our ups and downs. Best believe I still have my down days, and I still have things that bother me, but the grand picture of life is good, and I think when you just can identify what's great, you can just keep smiling. But yeah.
Oh, lovely. Well, thank you so much. Wishing you all the best, you and your wife, all the best, and your family, all the best in everything that you guys are doing.
You
If
too.
you ever need me for any support, any whatever you're doing with mental health, reach out. I'm always here. But yeah, take care and all the best for your future.
It was great.
No worries.